Accordance Mobile 2.1 User Notes. This podcast is at the basic level. It requires no knowledge of Accordance Bible software, Greek, or Hebrew. Accordance Mobile 2.1 makes it easier than ever to compose user notes. We can use them to record our own Bible study insights or those we glean from others, like our professors, pastors, rabbis, or Bible study leaders. In this podcast, we'll look at using our iPhones to dictate notes, type in other languages like Greek, Hebrew, and even emoji, change fonts and font styles, and sync with Dropbox. User notes have come a long way in Accordance Mobile this year. First, with 2.0, we saw support added for the Accordance 11 user note format, the ability to use Unicode languages and characters, and to permit input from multiple international keyboards. User notes will also now accept dictation, sync with other devices via Dropbox, span multiple texts in corpora, though not yet tools, which we hope to add by fall, and show the related verse when the title is tapped in Edit View. Version 2.1 adds 3 features. User notes will also now display different fonts, font styles, and font colors, allow us to choose the background color, and they can be shared with friends. Let's take a look at just some of these features. Dictate user notes. Did you know that we can dictate user notes in Accordance Mobile? It's true. We're probably all familiar with this button on our iPhones. It allows us to dictate in an app. If it doesn't appear on your device, that means you haven't yet enabled dictation. To do that, go to Settings, General, Keyboard, Enable Dictation. We just select a note for editing, tap Edit, then tap the mic button. We dictate the note, and once we're done talking, we tap Done to end the dictation. Then tap Done one more time to update the note. Presto, we have a dictated note. Type in Greek, Hebrew, even emoji characters. The iPhone and iPad both contain international keyboards, which allow us to type in virtually any language. That includes Greek, Hebrew, though without the vowel pointing, and even emoji characters. We can add new keyboards by going to Settings, General, Keyboard, Add New Keyboard. We can then toggle among the keyboards by pressing this button. The result? We can create notes like this. Accordance Mobile will even automatically turn properly formatted scripture references into working hypertext links. Of course, we're not just limited to biblical languages. Accordance Mobile user notes will also accept any language supported by the iPhone or the iPad. Customize user notes. The desktop version of Accordance has long allowed us to customize our displays, and Accordance Mobile follows in this tradition. We can make global changes to our user notes in the Library, Settings, Display Settings, User Notes. Version 2.1 adds another option, choosing a background color for user notes. Now, just a reminder, these display settings are called global because they apply to every user notes file. Whatever our global preferences for user notes, we can always further customize individual notes. In edit mode in any app, tap the new Font Settings button in the title bar. The keyboard will disappear and the new Style menu will appear. Here, we can select our entire user note or any word or phrase, and then change its font or font size, color, or style. Tap the Font Settings button again, and the keyboard will reappear. Let's make a new user note for Psalm 3:3. It will give us a chance to see several of these new features in action. We'll select the verse reference, tap User Note, then the file where we want to place our note. Now, make sure that the note has the new formatting introduced in Accordance 11 if you want to see all these features. We'll need to type something appropriate to this psalm. Now, we'll switch keyboards and type in a bit of Hebrew. Chesed, the word for loving kindness. We'll go back to English to type some more English. switch to Greek for another word, agape, the Greek word for God's love. Then back to English to finish the sentence. Now, just for fun, let's add a few emoji characters. By the way, if you switch keyboards and suddenly lose sight of your text, try using your finger to scroll the note down, and the text should reappear. For some reason, switching keyboards in this rev can cause the text to scroll up and out of sight. It's not missing, so don't worry about that. It's just a bug we didn't catch before releasing this version. We'll fix it in the next rev. Okay, now let's use the new Style menu. We'll select Worthy, tap the Font Actions button, then make it bold. Want to see that again? Let's select Boundless this time and make its font red. We can tap the note title at any time to see the current verse. Now this can be a real help if we want to make extended comments. It's also a help when we want to use the next feature, tapping the up or down arrow to write a note on a neighboring verse. We'll switch back to the keyboard in English, then add our note. Now, let's add some Chinese. I don't know Chinese, so I'm just going to type some characters at random and hope I'm not typing anything that would offend anyone. I think it's worth the risk, though, as I want everyone to know that User Notes accepts the full range of languages supported by Apple on the iPhone and iPad. Finally, let's add a few scripture references. 2 Chronicles 7:14 and Psalm 18:3. Just so everyone can see how AutoLink converts them. By the way, if we want AutoLink to work properly, we need to make sure to include book, chapter, and verse in each reference, and end the reference with either a space or some sort of punctuation. There, we're done. Sync with Dropbox. With these kinds of improvements in User Notes, we figure a lot more people will want to start syncing their notes with all their computers and iDevices. Here's how to set up all of our devices to sync. First, if you don't already have a Dropbox account, get one at www.dropbox.com. Next, we set up Dropbox Sync on the mobile device. The setting is in Library, Settings, User Content Syncing. Now, if we have more than one device, we'll have to do this on all of them. Finally, we set up syncing on our computer, or computers for those of you with more than one. In Preferences, we choose Syncing and Link to Dropbox. Initially, at least, we also recommending syncing manually and checking the box that says Automatically Resolve User Note Conflicts, though some of you may decide to change these preferences later. Once Dropbox syncing is set up, syncing our user notes is relatively easy. On the iPhone, we select Library, Sync, and Sync User Content with Dropbox. This action will sync the latest version of our user notes on our mobile device with Dropbox. On the computer, we'll need to choose Sync with Dropbox from the menu. Now, this snapshot is from a Mac, where the command is located under the Accordance menu. On a PC, the command is found under the Utilities menu. Again, this will sync the computer with Dropbox. Note that neither action syncs one device directly to the other. It syncs it to Dropbox, to which we can then sync other devices. User notes are a great way to personalize our Bibles. Over the years, we can build our own verse-by-verse commentary that contains the very best of our own insights, the results of our studies, and those gold nuggets we've gleaned from others. We trust these improvements to user notes on mobile devices will prompt more people to take advantage of this Accordance feature. This has been Dr. J for Accordance Bible Software. Thank you for watching this episode of Lighting the Lamp.